Okay, so now we want to handle the functionality where if we hit a letter that isn't there, okay, T is there, R is there, E's there, okay, hit E again. Okay, so U is not there. So right now this is firing off and it's just console logging. Now there's three main things that we want to do in this function. The first is we want to update where it says wrong and it shows the letter, so we know which letters we've pressed that are wrong. We want to add the figure, okay, so whether it's the head or body or whatever it might be. And then we also want to see if we're done. We want to see if basically the whole figure, the whole person is built and we lost the game, and then show the pop-up. So those are the three main things you want to do. So let's start off by taking the wrong letters element from the DOM, which is what's over here, and we want to add to the inner HTML a template string, and inside here what we're going to put is, well, actually we need to check to see if there's anything in the wrong letters array. So let's put in an expression here and we'll say wrong, we want wrong letters, which is the array. We want to check to see if the length is greater than 0. So is there anything in there? If there is, so we're using a ternary operator here, then we're going to have a paragraph that says wrong, okay, else, then nothing. And then we want the letters, of course, so what we'll do is we'll take the wrong letters array and we're going to map through. So for each letter, we're going to output a span, and in that span will be the letter. Okay. So let's save that and let's see if that works. So if I hit, let's say Z, and there we go. So we get wrong and we get Z. If I hit X, we know that's not there. It's going to show there as well. So any letter I hit that's not in the word will show up here. If I hit X again, it's going to just tell us that we've already tried that letter. So that part's done. Now we want to do the figure. So remember, we have this figure parts, figure parts, oops. And we're going to loop through this with a for each. Okay, so for each takes in a function. We'll say for each part. We also want the index, and then we'll have an arrow function. And then we need to see how many errors there are, basically how many wrong letters are there. So let's say const errors and set that to our wrong letters array dot length. Okay, and then all we have to do here is check to see if the index, okay, because remember we're looping through, so each part has an index starting at 0. If that is less than the errors in this particular iteration, then we're going to take the part style and we're going to manipulate the display property to be block so that it shows. Okay, by default it's display none. Else, if that's not true, then we want the part to display none. We don't want it to show. So style dot display equals none. Okay, so now let's go ahead and hit Z, and there we go. We get the first part. If we hit X, get the second one. Q, P, that's there. I is there. What isn't here? It's application. B, V. What else? E. Okay, so now we've lost. If I hit W, it keeps going, and we don't want that. We want it to tell us that we lost. So that's the last part. And I can actually put some comments in here. So this will display wrong letters. This will display parts. And then we want to check if lost. I don't know why this is red, actually. This happened to me when I was creating this project as well. I'm not really sure. I think it's some kind of mistake. I don't know. But we're just going to ignore that because it's not giving us any error or anything. So let's say if, and we want to take wrong letters, so the wrong letters array length, and we want to see if it's equal to the figure parts length. Okay, so if it's equal to the figure parts length, then that means we lost, right? So we'll take our final message, which is that heading, and set the inner text, and we're going to set that to unfortunately you lost, with a little sad face. And then we want to show the pop-up, so we'll take the pop-up and set the style display, which is originally set to none. We're going to set it to flex so that it actually shows. Okay, so we'll save that, and then let's try this again. Just put in a bunch of stuff that isn't there. What else? O, no, the O is there. Y, W, M. Okay, so now we get the pop-up because the number of letters in the wrong letters array matches the figure parts length, so that means we lost. Okay, so now the last thing we want to do here is we need this to work, because right now we're just stuck on this screen. Okay, so I'll just reload, and then let's go ahead and add another event listener for the play again button. So I'm going to go under the key down event, which ends here, and let's say restart game and play again. So we have our play again button from the DOM. We're going to add an event listener of click and have an arrow function. So the first thing we want to do is empty the arrays, the correct and wrong arrays. So let's set correct letters, and we're going to do dot splice at 0, and then do the same thing for wrong letters. Okay, and then what we want to do is get a random word from the array, because we're going to want to display a new word, right, or an empty word. So let's say selected word, and we're going to set that to words math dot floor, same thing we did above, and then math dot random, and we just want to multiply that by the length of the words. Okay, so that will create a new word, and then we just want to call the display word function again, just like we did when the page loads. And we also want to clean up the wrong letters and hide the figurine again. So we can do that by calling update wrong letters element. And then hide the pop-up, of course. So pop-up dot style, and we're going to set the display back to none. Okay, and that should basically restart the game. What is this? Cannot read of null. Play again button. I should have that. Get element by ID. Play again. Did I not have that as an ID? Aha, it's just play button. Okay, so yeah, I guess we'll just change. Where is it? We'll just change the. Oh no, it's play again. ID play button. All right, so we'll change this to play button. All right, so that should be it. Let's try it out. So let's win. So this is, what is this, application T O. If we put a wrong letter, we'll get that. I'll put another wrong letter, and then I'll put N, which is the right letter, and it should finish. We should win. Good. And if I hit play again, it resets. Okay, let's lose on purpose now. Let's see that. There we go. So we lost. Play again, and it resets. So that's it. We're done. We now have a Hangman game. And of course, like I said before, I mean, if you want to go further than just having these 4 words, you could add a ton of words here in an array. You could even make a request to some kind of server where you have a database where it serves random words. Okay, so that's it. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit from this project, and I'll see you in the next one.